guys ever heard of Darth Logs? He's a Star Wars villain who... he just throws wood at you. He says, try to chop this shit with the Force. And they do easily with lightsabers. It's very easy. It's basically like slicing butter. So that there's a reason you've never heard of him. His thing didn't work out. He didn't know about lightsabers. See, his problem was he hadn't seen the movies. So whoever it is that you happen to be, I am addressing you. Your shit is goofy. Your shit's goofy. Fix it. Fix your goofy shit. And you can do that by going to my 7-day retreat. We're all gonna gather at a volcano. We're going to be throwing ourselves into the volcano lava to sacrifice ourselves to the lava god, Mark. And Mark actually told us not to do it. He said, I don't really want you to come to volcano hell, my domain. And we said, but we love you, Mark. We want to be one with the lava. And he said, fuck off, don't come here. But we're doing it anyway. You're just playing hard to get, Mark. That's all I had to say about that. So I have this I have this glass of water here with me. And this is actually also my co-host, Glass Johnson. Glass Johnson has been in the biz for a long time, and really it's an honor to have him here. I know it's, I haven't actually introduced him until now. I kind of forgot. But now that I remember it, it really is an honor. Everybody loves Glass Johnson. This show sucks. I can't believe I'm charging everyone $50 just for this. If you got this for free, something went wrong. It's supposed to be $50 to listen to each episode. I'm trying to make a living too. Also, you can make a podcast and argue against every single thing that I say on this episode. It has to be equal length, counter argument. And if I'm convinced by your arguments, I will give you your money back. Absolutely no problem. But I'm going to tell you right now, the chances of that occurring are close to zilch. About as good as Glass Johnson making a joke. Glass Johnson, the only reason he's even in the fucking business is because he's connected. He knew the Kennedys. He knows everybody. He could get any job he wants. So the question is, what is he doing here? Why is he... If only I could ask him. Unfortunately, he's an inanimate object. But he has a fucking agent. Can you believe this? He reached out to me. He said, listen, Glass Johnson wants to make the joke that he doesn't want to be transparent, but if there's a new opening, he's looking for lucrative work. And I said, who the fuck is Glass Johnson? And they said he was... he used to work the circuit, the clubs and all that, the comedy circuit. He was back there with all the guys. All the guys that you're thinking of when you think of, like, the guys of an era. Glass Johnson was there, yucking it up. But here's the thing, he was impossible to see on television because he was so clean back then. So nobody ever saw him. So that's why I never heard of him. But now seeing him here in the dilapidated state he's in, clearly he's had a number of hard liquors, clearly he's had a number of inexplicable fluids. It looks like he was probably used as like an ashtray for like 5 years in the 90s. I mean, I'm not to lay it on too thick. I mean, I'm told I guess he's sentient and conscious, so he understands what we're saying. But it's like, this is so fucking stupid. So today on Dogs in a Dog Corner, I'm gonna be coming through the neighborhood in a animal controlled truck, and I'm gonna be letting a bunch of dogs loose because I can't control the animals. No man can control the animals. It's a political statement. And so when they run into your yard and poop all over the place, well, this is nature. This is Earth. Living on Earth is having a Shih Tzu take a dump in your driveway. And I'm just closing my eyes now and I'm visualizing a Shih Tzu taking a shit in the driveway. And it's just, there's something about these words that's like poetry to me. It makes me think about my time in Nam. Yeah, being in Nam, let me talk more about it. It was loud, but I'll tell you the quietest place I've ever been to. Probably the bottom of the ocean. I was there because I was meeting a date, but my GPS was not correct, I guess. And I never really found out because I just had a lot of other problems, so I couldn't really follow up. So maybe unless she was a mermaid, then that would have made sense if her address was the water. That's my alternate theory. But these are real. These are completely true stories that I tell. I tell everybody. I tell every single person I meet. I come up to them, I shake them, and I say, I need to tell you various thoughts that I'm having. Here's what I'm thinking. You ever think about a fucking moth who can sing? Just imagine it. Okay, now imagine nothing. What, was I there? Hey, was I at nothing? Sorry, I'm just curious, not that like I'm conceited or anything, but when you pictured nothing, did you see me? I mean, just if I was there. If you have like a messy room, or if you do heroin, I will help you, and I'll help you be better with your life. And I also, on the side, I'll come knock on your door in the morning to wake you up if you need that. Here's something I want to bring back from the Victorian era. Scarlet fever, I'll take it, but I want a door knocker I want that to be a job again. And I want to do it. Do I like getting up early? Absolutely not. I hate it. Do I like knocking on doors? You bet your fucking ass I do. And I would do it passionately, like no one else has done it before. And I just never got the chance. It's sad to be born at the wrong time. By the way, if you're going near any volcanoes, if you see Mark, tell him I said hi. And it's just like we're having misunderstandings with Mark, and I said some things in the Discord that he got wind of, and he was a little pissed at me for a while. And everywhere I walked, geothermal vents would open and lava would come out. So yeah, Mark's real, and he's a dick. He's not. I mean, he lives in volcano hell. What kind of expectations did you have about his moral character? So yeah, if you need me, I'll just be working at Geek Squad, fucking up your computer. You get it back and it just has like pirated copies of like Fruity Loops. And you're like, how the hell is this even possible? I just asked him to install Windows 10. And if you don't pay for Windows 10, I give you a pirated copy of it and it comes with Fruity Loops. That's what Best Buy is all about. That's the Best Buy you're gonna get. Because you get Windows and you get Fruity Loops. You can make beats, and I'm doing it for you, and I don't care if you want to make beats. You have to make beats because I did this for you. I guess it's not really beat based. I don't know. I haven't used Fruity Loops, so I don't know anything about it. So fuck you. So coming up next, the weather report. It's cloudy and it's foggy, and that's it. So coming up next, we got Slurp Von Lipstick, but first it's going to be a message from our sponsor, Boeing. Will you fly planes? You don't know how to do that, so we do it for you. Boeing. Boeing doesn't fly the planes, they make the planes. Wow, it's weird that that was part of the ad. That's so strange. That's fucked up. Well, I guess I'll bring out the man of the hour, though he would be loath to be referred to as that, as the hour is his least favorite unit of time, his favorite unit of measurement for time, is in fact the picosecond. In fact, for picosecond month, is a celebration of everything related to the picosecond. Anytime he referred to time whatsoever, he gave it in the amount of picoseconds. And he was not smart enough to do it on his own. He just pulled his phone out and did it. And it actually took a long time for him to do it. Like, I remember I was supposed to meet him for lunch, and I said, "How long are you going to be? You're late." And it took him about 45 minutes before I got a text back, and I knew why. Because he was trying to calculate how many picoseconds he was going to be. And so that's what I texted him, and he was like, "You're throwing me off because I'm trying to put the numbers in the picosecond calculator. And now you fucked me up. Now I have to start over." So it was another 45 minutes. He gave me the picoseconds. It was like a billion, a quadrillion, or whatever the fuck. Who cares? And he showed up to that lunch. I'll never forget. He looked so distraught. He looked so stressed out. And I said, "What's going on, Slurp? Buddy, what is the deal?" And he said, "Picosecond month is ruining my life." And I said, "You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. Nobody would have this idea." And he cried in front of me, and I didn't feel. I don't care. I don't feel bad. He's not a good person. So without further ado, Slurp Von Lipstick, come on out, my friend. Hey there, everybody. Hey, it's me, fucking Slurp. I'm getting it up today. Getting it up. I'm getting it up today, whatever that means. And yes, the anecdote is true. I did partake in picosecond month, which was March. It was difficult because I was just so stressed out about just making sure I was being accurate with the picoseconds. And the thing, I would do it with everybody, and so they didn't understand what was going on, and I wouldn't explain why I was doing it because I was too busy trying to figure it out. See, the thing is, I'm just not good at math. I don't know why I do anything in my life. You know, I don't know why I host Time Check. I'm just rethinking everything that I've done, and I'm thinking maybe I should just go work at like a gas station like I've always dreamed of. So little kids like candy, and I'll give them like an extra candy, you know, on the house. You know? Not because I'm a fucking... Well, I am a creepy guy, but it's in completely different ways than that. Yeah, I'm more into like getting really small and like getting stuck between two floorboards, and then a lady walks over me in high heels, and I get squished between the floorboards. It's every guy's fucking fantasy, right? Am I right, fellas? But that's not what I came here to talk about. What I came here to talk about is time. Not space. That's my competitor. Brian Space. He changed his fucking name to Brian Space. You know, we're kind of two sides of the same coin, but we also don't see eye to eye. Because I think everything's made out of time, and he thinks everything's made out of space. And there's absolutely no way we can both be correct. It has to be one or the other. Crash says Bud Mitzvah. Yeah, he's a child. Brian Space, he's a child. He has a YouTube channel. He has 47 subscribers. But I know he's working against me. I could just tell by, like, he was just very smug. You ever meet a smug child? You don't want to. In his videos, he always says things like, "I think space is the best. Space is way better than time. Space rules. Time drools." I don't make these things up. They're real. Picoseconds, they're real. Yeah, they're really small seconds. They're just little babies, and they're very cute. When they pass by, like, oh, a little picosecond. Oh, you can't really say it. You can't really feel it. But it's going, and it's very cute. That being said, I think now is the perfect time to sit down, to relax, to focus, think about time. So what I want you to do is think about a time which you would like to go back to. I'll give you a moment to do that. $5% APR financing, Toyota. Sorry, this silence was brought to you by Toyota. And I'm sorry if that messed you up, but, you know, I gotta keep the lights on, you know? Those $50 payments per episode aren't really cutting it. Do you know why? Because no one's doing it. And I refuse to go below 50. I refuse. You can have a 30-second sample for $35. How's that? I'm trying to meet you halfway. Okay, so now you're in that memory. You're enjoying it. The time now is 11:02 p.m. I want you to remain in your environment, your memory environment you've created. Now imagine if me, Slurp Von Lipstick, was present for that event, or in that setting. Now imagine that. Imagine me giving you the time. Wouldn't your life have been even better if you knew what time it was? I'm pretty sure it would. People need help. They need to know what time it is. And sure, I get some backlash. Sure, I've gotten some criticism. Or sure, I've lost some criminal cases. I'm actually a good guy. I'm just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Which is ironic, because I should be better at knowing what time to be somewhere. But maybe it's the place part that I'm missing. Maybe time and space are both needed equally in order to orient oneself in reality. Wow, I didn't think I'd learn so much about myself. I was just going to talk about when I went to the dentist the other day. They said, "Aren't you that guy who tells the time?" And I said, "I have no idea what you're talking about." So, see ya. Alright, give it up for, whatever that was, whatever that guy does. Now it's time for the adults to talk. So what else is going on? What's going on in the news? Have you been watching the news? So let me summarize. I'll summarize the news for you. Something happened on a boat, something happened on a plane, something happened in a car, and something happened underground, something happened in space. Something was happening inside your tummy today, before lunch. You know what I'm talking about. You had the tumbly grumblies. We've all been there. Why not? Why not pop a peanut butter pupper, or whatever those things are they give kids now that like aren't peanut butter jelly sandwiches, but they're close enough. Like it comes in like a pouch or something, or like, you know, I used to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich every morning. It had become such a challenge for me. It made me question my mental capabilities as like a human being with limbs, because at no point I was never successful in not getting some jelly or some peanut butter somewhere it shouldn't be, whether it's on my hand, whether it's on the counter, whether there was always something every single time. So what is that all about? Like, how do I drive a car? How am I alive? Luckily I have my GPS, which is pretty cool that it can go take you to coordinates under the ocean. It's a pretty advanced feature if you think about it. So I think that was like a beta that they were testing, and there was definitely a mermaid woman. I can believe in whatever I want to believe in, whether that's a mermaid woman, whether that's Frankenstein, whether that's Gargantua, the troll that lives in my backyard. He's my thing. I have my own cryptozoological phenomenon. He's in a fenced-in area. I'm gonna charge people $100,000 to come see him. Gargantua gets half. I'm not an asshole. You don't want Gargantua, like, going on strike. So we're in agreement. This is how he hasn't attacked and killed me. I said, we can make some serious cash. And he said, hell yeah, brother. Mind you, he's a 12-foot tall giant. He doesn't know what clothes are. So, I mean, he can't be out in public anyway. So I'm kind of like protecting his reputation by not allowing anyone to know he exists. Unless they're willing to fork over a little bit of cash. So it's a strange life I live. I don't know how it got this way. It could have been normal. So if you want to call in, the number is 599-0187-0187-323996455555. My phone number is actually, it's a little bit like pi, so it goes on forever, so I don't know if you're going to be able to get through. I don't think you're going to have enough time to put it in. It was just a weird glitch with AT&T. But you can also just talk to your Alexa. You can just say, hey, connect me with some jackass. She'll know exactly what to do. You'll be on the line. Just checking to see if she happened to be listening in, as she is wont to do. It is kind of crazy to, like, complain about, like, the surveillance devices. It's like, can't believe this microphone I put in my house is listening to me. It's kind of stupid. Like, are we stupid now? Like, everybody essentially remains a baby throughout life. Their baby tendencies just get sublimated into, like, other neuroses, and, like, a good example is, like, a Reese's commercial is, like, you're just a little baby, you just want a little Reese's, don't you? Come here, boy. And then you crawl up to the TV and you try to eat it. Everybody's been there. I get it. It's hard. It's hard to be a baby. But it's much harder to be a baby when you are pretending that you're not a baby. When you bought into this whole idea of you being some person whose identity and way of thinking just becomes hardened as a product of physical circumstance, and also the things you choose to pay attention to, which are also largely determined by physical circumstance, things that were completely out of your control. And so those parameters could have been whatever. There's an infinite combination of things that could have happened to you. You could have turned out any number of ways. So to base anything on that is kind of, like, obviously, in reality, it's unavoidable, it's inevitable. But if you think about it conceptually, it sounds kind of dumb. Like, how could you fall for that trick? It's like you're so invested in the roll of the dice because you think you're the dice. You're not the dice. But you're looking at them. You're looking at them dice, ain't you? And they're rolling all the time. Einstein famously said God does not play dice with the universe in response to the findings in quantum mechanics. And you know what? I'm going to challenge him because I think it's all dice, baby. Dice all day, all night, and all afternoon. Dice for breakfast, dice for lunch. Yeah, I'm talking about eating them. I like to eat dice. They're really good. As long as you pre-roll them, get them warmed up. If you get a few sixes on a dice, that's what I call Flavor Town. So I think I said something that was important, right? Didn't I? That's what people say when they say something important. They go to the UN and they present their plan to, like, bring drinking water to Africa. And they conclude the presentation by saying, so this shit's pretty important. What do you think, right? I don't know where this is going. I'm just feeling the picoseconds just move through me, and it's like grossing me out. I don't like thinking of all that little time passing. I prefer the big chunks, you know. Give me a minute, give me an hour. Fuck an attosecond or whatever that the new one is. Fuck a Planck time. Also, there's an election coming up. I think Gumby is on the ticket this year. Yeah, I looked at Gumby, you know, the green guy. And a lot of people criticize Gumby, you know, on positions he's taken in the past, especially on Israel, and so it's bad timing for sure, but Gumby has said things that have pissed off Hamas and Israel. So he's enemies with everybody. He's also facing a lot of criticism. I mean, he's made out of clay. He would be the first clay president. Some people have said he can't run because he looks too lifelike. It would be too jarring of a transition from President Biden, who's made out of like paper and glue. I think he's like partially paper mache in some places. I'm not sure what's going on. You have Gumby, who's like, this is like a young Obama. This is like a first-term Obama coming in. You know, this is a fresh guy. I hope it happens. That's why I'm voting Gumby. You should vote Gumby. I don't know what any of his policies are. Well, seeing as football season is well underway, I've got all my commentary locked and loaded, and I'm ready to shoot from the hip. Take number 1, Jeff Wrinkles. He's out. Get him out. Put Jeff Wrinkles in prison, actually, for how bad he's been playing. What they should do is they should take everybody off all the teams. The celebration, the sorrows, the anger, the frustration, it's all there on the field. This is what keeps us coming back time and time again. Every Tuesday? What day is it on? You sit down, you say, I can't wait to cry and laugh. I'm also looking forward to eating a 6-foot-long Subway sub. From Subway. Thanks, Subway. They do not pay you to say it, I found this out. But I'm still sending love and warmth and vibes to Subway. I wish Subway the best. I expect nothing in return. Do I like their sandwiches? Not really. They're not good. They're bad. But sometimes when it comes to eating sandwiches and getting food in general, it's not about how the food tastes. It's about how it makes you feel. Do Subway sandwiches make me feel good? No, they make me feel very rotten. In fact, I have to go to the bathroom immediately afterwards. But you know what's more important than the experience? Just supporting a very good business that does a great job. You can go there, you can buy a sandwich. You couldn't always do that. There were times in human history where you couldn't just go get a sandwich. If you wanted to even consider making like a sandwich in caveman times, it would involve fighting the scariest beasts who have ever roamed the earth. All kinds of ferocious fauna, all to scavenge the materials needed to make one sandwich. It's funny to think that it sounds so dumb to say it, but it's funny to think that at one point, presumably, unless something very weird was happening, at some point there were just like 6 people just existing. There were like 6 or 7 or 8. So what was that relationship like? Like every time a new baby is born, you're like, great, how is this going to upset the group dynamic? It's just strange. It's strange to think about how it happened. You know, it's fucking insane that human beings exist. I mean, it's just as insane that anything exists. But it's like, one day a bunch of stuff on the earth got together and it started thinking about itself. What the fuck are you talking about? That sounds insane. That's what happened though. Like there was just like various energy available in the environment and materials and forces, and it just became a guy who goes to like Buffalo Wild Wings. Like you just pop on out of the void and then you're like, I'll have ribs and a soda. How does that work? How did this happen? I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna go back in time and I'm gonna figure out exactly how life formed on Earth. And then also on the way back to the present, I'm gonna stop by when my favorite film was still in theaters, Osmosis Jones, and I'm gonna go see it in the theaters. And then I'll come back. It'll just take a second. It actually won't take a second. It'll take no time at all. Here's also fun. That my favorite movie isn't really Osmosis Jones. I just was trying to say the dumbest movie. My favorite film would be The Truman Show, I think. I saw that when I was a kid. And I had this strange little, like, I don't know if you'd call it a fantasy or not. It wasn't like an obsession, but I had the idea in my head that my life was actually a TV show that was being viewed by many people. I didn't think that it was real, but I had this compulsion to imagine it all the time for some reason. And then I saw the movie. I was like, oh. And then after that, I kind of stopped doing it. So presumably that imaginary audience was also watching me watch The Truman Show. They were like, this is way too meta. This is getting too Black Mirror on my ass. I'm out. Well, I guess any final word? I'm just gonna check in with, I was just gonna check in with our pal here, Glass Johnson, see how he's doing. He's now full of water, just how he likes it. I hope he's happy. I hope we continue this fruitful relationship. And I hope that Glass Johnson stays dirty, because otherwise I can't see him. I don't know where he is. So I turn now to Glass Johnson to see if he has any final words or first words. As he's never spoken. He is, of course, an inanimate object, and I don't hold that against him. But you do need glasses in life. Like, you have to have a glass. You can't hold it against anybody for making a glass dirty. You know, I break glasses all the time. Sorry to talk about this in front of our man, GJ himself, which is a very easy, just initials to say, GJ. But yes, I've cracked many a glass in my time. It's kind of a new habit I've gotten into. I just break everything that I use for no particular reason, just stupid. And I guess that is a particular reason, right? I mean, it's a pretty good out to have if you're ever caught kind of doing something you can't really explain it. You can just say, well, I'm stupid. It's just a pretty nice shortcut, because what can you say to that? So yeah, to Brian Space, I just want to apologize for everything that Slurp uttered about you, all of the slander, all of the lies. I know it's not true. I know you're a good person, even though you do sometimes post like neo-Nazi stuff on your channel, which I think is inappropriate. But it's also not relevant to space. I mean, it's happening within space. Like, Nazism is alive and well in time and space. Unbelievably, this particular time. So, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I don't think people should be racist. I think they should be nice. So thank you and good night, and I hope that you have a healthy tomorrow and a happy today and a happy tonight and a good day and a good night.